RealToon, it's some real money in the room.
RealToon, real money in the room, man. This is episode 1 of the RealToon podcast, and I'm gonna just go ahead and address the elephant in the room, right? So it's being said that I'm banned from Fort Worth.
And RealToon, we got something for you, boy.
That when the Hoova Crip gang members see me, I'm gonna be stamped. And basically making threats on my life. So we gonna start like this. Like, why was I even in Hooverland in the first place?
Real life tunes, man. You know,
yeah, that part.
Tone, man. We giving him a day of life in the hood, man, with us. You know what I'm saying? On our block, how we kick it and shit. So, you know, Hooverland shit, man. Introduce y'all to our life.
That part. So right here, like what we stand on this soil, like what street is this? What store is this? Like, what's the significance of where we at?
It's like, why was I even on the bottom of Fort Worth, on the south side of Fort Worth? Like, what business did I have there? Like, why did I go do a hood vlog? Why did I showcase they hood? Why did I give them an opportunity to, you know, show the world who they are? Why did this happen? How did this happen? And I'm gonna also tell you why I don't respect somebody telling me where I can't go when I pay property taxes. You know, I don't want to, I'm not going to just dive too deep into the political side of it, but I'm going to tell you why I don't respect it. And first off, I was there because I saved an HCG, a Hoova Crip gang member. I saved him. And I've never spoke on this, and I don't even like framing it like that, but that's, when I look at it, that's what happened. I saved him. So basically, I was in Arlington one day. It's a club called Temptations, and a shootout transpired. A lot of people from Fort Worth be at Temptations. I've seen Lil Ronnie there, Go Yayo there. Like, this is a common and popular club. Arlington is a suburb of Fort Worth. So for people from Fort Worth to be there, it's not uncommon. For me to be there, it's not uncommon because I do be outside from time to time. Now, after this shootout occurs, right? Like, literally a shootout happened. Now, I'm not saying that I saved him as far as I prevented like something from happening to him or anything like that. But after the shootout, long story short, there was a few people around, and bro needed a ride to the south side of Fort Worth. Now, people in my field, as he told me, are scared to go there. Like, they don't go there. And I don't blame them. You know what I'm saying? Fort Worth is not an easy place. You know what I mean? You got to be on your P's and Q's. You got to have your I's dotted and your T's crossed, or it can happen to you. It will happen to you. It's happened. You know what I'm saying? There's all these stories, and there's a city full of gangbanging, right? So long story short, I took bro home. Now, is that really saving somebody? I mean, a shootout happened. We in Arlington. The law is hot. He could have went to jail, and you know, something could have happened. But I gave bro a ride. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I actually enjoyed bro. I felt like he was a real dude. He was a real person. He was stand up. Now, did I know he was from Hoova Crip gang? No, I didn't know. I didn't know bro from Adam to Eve. I took it as, man, as a black man, a serious situation just transpired, and he needs a ride home, and I'm in a position and I'm capable of giving him a ride home. So I gave him a ride home, and we went to the south side of Fort Worth. Now, while I was there, he was like, man, Toon, you got to mess with me, bro. I do music. You know what I'm saying? You got to come check out my hood, bro. We official over here. You know what I'm saying? You always on the east side showing love, showing favoritism, man. Come mess with us. We got something over here. Mind you, at this time, I'm having back and forths with rappers at the time, because it was like a season where it was cool for like a rapper to be for RealToon. And I will be back, you know, like it will be known that it's like a clout thing, obviously, because, you know, like what problems can you really have with a blogger? Like, people be having real street stuff going on, but on some clout stuff, I was having issues with PB, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, obviously I've sat down with PB. He's come to my South by Southwest. Like, we tight. That's bro. But to make a long story short, Trebo brought me to Hooverland. Trebo is the guy who I gave the ride to. This is why I don't respect people saying that I'm banned. The guy in that video saying that was right next to Trebo the whole time. So you know your partner, right? Your partner. And they younger, but they older OGs, like YOGs. You know what I'm saying? So your partner brought me there, and now you saying I'm banned 5 years later. Like, this is all back 2020 during the J-Dub era, back when I was covering Murder Worth, right? So instead of saying Toon was banned and we gonna stamp him, why don't you say, hey, Toon, pull up. We want to talk to you. We want to talk to you. And you let Trevo deal with it however he need to deal with it. Like, if you felt so offended by whatever I did that it warranted a ban, then why don't you let dude that brought me in that was the reason y'all embraced me, why don't you let him deal with it? And why don't you let me explain what I actually did? Why are people mad? So people are mad because I went to Cali doing the same thing that I essentially did in Fort Worth. We had to sit down, and some people were upset about the HCG politics. Now, mind you, I don't know anything about Cali politics except from what I've been told and what I learned. So as I'm going about the interview, there's a comment made where somebody says he's going to groove an HCG person from Houston. Man, everybody was offended.
Feel me?
Let me say this.
Oh, shit.
Hoova, look.
This is a very passionate situation.
I ran
Yeah,
across
crazy.
one of them niggas out here with that HCG tatted on him, and he told me it stand for Hoova Crip Gang, and he was out of Houston, a light skinned. If you watching this, you know who you are on Hoova. That shit don't exist on the set. Like I told Google, Hoova, you finna get that shit covered up. He ended up going back out that way. We ain't seen him. Hoova Crip Gang, that shit don't exist. So if you walking around with HCG on you and you say that stand for Hoova Crip Gang, if you come out here in the 50s banging that, something bad's gonna happen to you. On Hoova. Either that or a nigga gonna groove you. Because nigga, it's like you playing with the set. Where did that come from? On Hoova.
Houstonians, Texans, HCGs, across the state of Texas were offended at that statement. And I feel like a lot of people are blaming me for that because it happened on my platform. But I want to say this. Imagine somebody makes a statement like that and I don't put it out. Right? Because, yes, it could have been vetted to where it would have been a cleaner interview. But imagine if I don't put it out. Because what bro said, right? He was speaking how he feels and how his partners feel. Period, point blank. That's what it is. So imagine somebody from my state goes to Cali and they don't know how people actually feel. Like, they don't know. They thinking it's sweet. They thinking it's cool, and something happens to them. I feel like that will be my fault. So I would rather you be mad at me for attempting to look out for you than for you to die playing because you don't know the rules in certain places. A lot of people don't know. See, it's sweet out here in Texas compared to California. When I say it's sweet, that doesn't mean it can't happen to you, because it will happen to you out here. Like, it will happen to you, right? It will happen to you. But in California, it's a real war zone. Like, they're currently at war with other Crips. Like, it's Crip versus Crip out there. Blood versus blood out there. There's areas where, it's cool, but it's really not cool, bro. It can happen to you out there, and they see it every day. They're dealing with it. They're living it. And don't get me wrong, it's like that in every hood. But in Cali, because of the gang politics, it can get tricky. It can get tricky. And the thing about Gumby is Gumby knows this. He knows how tricky it can get. And he's made the comments like people will come down here and play on y'all's top because they know what's going on and y'all don't. Right. And so it's like it doesn't really matter outside of California, but in California is wicked. It's crazy. It's wild. It's wild, man. And unless you've really been, you won't understand. You won't understand that in Texas, you can see a rolling 60 and there's no issue. Right. Like, y'all friends, y'all probably even related. Y'all probably from the same area code. Like, y'all probably have a close relationship. That's how it is in Texas. In California, it's not like that. It's not. If you get caught out of bounds and you say you from somewhere, regardless of where the politics are, where you from, it can happen to you. And there's people who don't give a damn. Oh, they don't give a damn. Full extras. When he pulled on Unc, he showed you, man, we don't care. Unc got his way up out of there respectfully, but man, it can happen to you that quick, bro. And if you don't know that, whose fault is it? Ignorance to the law is no excuse for breaking it. So whose fault is it? So now me as a journalist coming from the state of Texas, I get exposed to this wealth of knowledge, right? I get embraced by this community and I enjoyed it, bro. I say it all the time. When I went to Cali, bro, it was one of the best experiences that I've had. But at the same time, it's a very serious situation that was going on. And so, again, just to keep it, let's keep it on subject here. We're talking about the ban, right? We're talking about I've been banned before. People said I banned, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not worried about, I'm not worried about people who are misled, right? You don't, my beef ain't with you, right? My beef ain't with you. Your beef really ain't with me. You mad about something that somebody else said on my platform. And I understand that. But imagine if I didn't put that out and you go down there or one of your homies go down there or one of your partners go down there and they think it's sweet. Something happens to them. You're going to be thinking RealToon. You would be thinking RealToon, but I guess you don't got to worry about that, right? Because I already did my part. And so I'll be hated for that. If that's why y'all mad at me because somebody said XYZ. I understand that. Now, I know that there are separate issues, right? I know that there are separate issues. Y'all feel like, oh, well, you could have came and talked to some of the real ones down here and got it cleared up or got an understanding. I've been doing that for the last 5 years. I don't know how much back and forth or how much understanding one can get, but I've literally been doing that the last 5 years since J-Dub died. And I'm going to make my intentions clear as day. The reason why I've been doing that is because, like, I got dead homies, gang. I got dead homies and I shouldn't. Like, why do I have dead homies? Like, I'm a college student, did what I was supposed to do, you know, turned my life around, and I come into a city and the youth, these are the youth, start dying. I'm making real connections with these people and they're dying, they're getting killed. People, innocent people, right? Bugatti's baby mom. Y'all know her as Bugatti's baby mom, but I know her as Shantavia. That's my partner A Money's cousin. Mind you, I'm coming to Fort Worth to shoot his videos or mess with him on some rap stuff. This is what I'm doing early on. Exit 29, I'm gonna count up. You know what I mean? And I'm making relationships with people and they getting killed. Women, mothers, they're getting killed because of gang violence. And so I'm like, whoa, this place is literally baby California. Or at least that's what people are calling it. They call it Murderworth. It's not Fort Worth. It's not Funky Town. It's Murderworth. How did gangs get here? Man, I found out the truth about J-Dub's death and I left. I was done with it. Literally done with it. Pivoted. Did something different. Why? Because when I found out that J-Dub was killed by his own partners, it was like, bro, this is beyond me. This is deep. This is deep. But my thing is, yes, his partners who were involved are at fault. But you're talking about people who are 15, 16, 17-year-old impressionable minds, right? This is beyond them. How did they get like this? When you do your research and you do your due diligence, I talked to one of the OGs from the south side of Fort Worth. He told me we were teens. We were 14, 15 years old, 13, 12 years old, getting put down with cripping. They grew up under these laws and then went to jail and lived that in jail. So the kids that they left on the streets are the ones that I'm witnessing getting killed. And so I'm knowing even the OGs, this is deeper than them. This is a conversation. This is a conversation. This is not a, when you say RealToon started the Crip, no, this is a black conversation. This is a black conversation. This is a conversation where, oh, you want to threaten me. You want to threaten me because I'm speaking on issues in my community? What? Yeah, this is my community now. This ain't just, oh, where you born at, you raised. Nah, this is my community. I got real relationships. I'm in a church in Fort Worth. I got a lot of my friends that I know from Fort Worth. Like, I met them in college, right? Jarvis Christian College. A lot of people from Fort Worth went to Jarvis, period. The way I met Go Brazy was through a guy named Zimmy. Now, I don't want to get into his street resume, but I know Zimmy from college. Zimmy was actually smart, 17-year-old, ruined his life. I don't know what he's doing now, but ruined his life. Whatever he got going on, the trajectory in which I saw his life on when he was around me in school, it was up here. He'll move back home, became a whole gangster, bro, tatted everywhere. Like, it's sad to say, but I'm saying these are where my relationships come from, so I owe it to them. I feel like, now, fast forward in Houston, Texas, I've started a mentorship program where we mentor, boys in college or whatever the case may be. And I've had several mentees from Fort Worth. One of my mentees got a master's degree. I feel like that's my way of giving back. Like, we have held events in Fort Worth, turkey drives, through empowering people who can empower their communities, right? Like, I'm one person, bro. It ain't my responsibility to save the world. But if I can empower one and that one can make a difference where they from. And now, the particular person I'm talking about, he's from the Lil Donnie era, okay? A lot of people don't know about the Lil Donnie era. Maybe this is a video for another video, right? But I'm just going to give a little background on Lil Donnie. Lil Donnie was one of the first people killed in Fort Worth from the era that I started covering it, right? This is where the war between the east side and the south side really just kicked back up. Lil Donnie was a college student going to Tyler Junior College, TJC. He comes home, he gets into a fight, he's killed. His best friend who's there ends up two gun action, bop, 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 shot his way out of the situation, right? All of this leads up to now J-Dub is sliding, now everybody's sliding, now it's beef on wax. It really kicked off a war. I'm dealing with the kids who made it out of that, but still dealing with the PTSD. So I see kids from the baby Kari generation. Okay, let's just talk a little bit about the baby Kari generation, right? The baby Kari generation is a generation after J-Dub. Yeah, because things didn't stop after J-Dub was killed. There was a guy named Baby Kari. Baby Kari was in my first ever hood vlog conducted on the south side of Fort Worth. Now, the baby Kari generation, the baby Kari generation is even more messed up because he was killed at 14. So now you have 14-year-old junior high age kids going through the motions, grieving, dealing with PTSD, drama. Now they in college and they have survivor's remorse. Why me? Why was I selected? Why was I selected to make it out of my city? Why was I selected to make it out of my hood? Why? Now I can't focus. Now I can't stay on top of it, and people in college don't understand what you're going through. Most of them come from good backgrounds, mommy, daddy at the house. You going through things that normal people don't go through, and that's okay. That's okay, but truthfully, it's not okay. Truthfully, it's not okay. Truthfully, it's not normal. Is this normal? You got to ask yourself, is this PTSD that I'm dealing with normal? No, you have mental health issues caused and brought upon by a tragedy that has transpired in your city, and that has been transpired to the point to where people are numb to it. And I didn't come from that, man. We didn't have that where I'm from. I'm from a small town in Texas, a former plantation. Now we've had gangs come in and we have tragedies now because of this gang banging epidemic. Okay. And so my issue that I've come to the conclusion of is it's not the culture of gangbanging, right? It's not, because if you get the opportunity to go to Hoover Street or you go to the neighborhood, you go wherever you go in California, depending on who you with, you gonna see love. You gonna see mamas. It's generations of gangs going on. It's more of a community, more of like they call it a set or a hood, but it's more of a community. The Rolling 60s are not a gang, it's a community in California. In Texas, is a gang. The Hoovers are not a gang in California. They're a community. Now, it is a gang, technically, but it's a community, a gang of the community. Does that make sense? So me noticing that and me noticing like, man, it's people who've never even been here that are claiming streets. Like, I need to know why this happened or how this happened. Y'all gonna start feeling like I'm being a dead horse after a while, because the truth of the matter is, after or during and after segregation, right? After the assassination of Martin Luther King and all that happened, there was a massive migration that happened from the South. It's called the Great Migration, where blacks left the South, came to the West, California. Now, they came there for jobs and housing, okay? Housing that was given. Mind you, at this time, housing discrimination still exists. So, but because the government were fighting wars, there were incentives to allow blacks to move here to work, right? And work and stay in these factories to build for the war, right? Manufacturing jobs and things of that nature. Now, these plants were closed down. Once the plants closed down, it crippled the economy in which the blacks came to. Now, blacks had already started organizing because they were dealing with racism in California, because whites were not happy about blacks moving here. Inglewood and Compton, these were white areas that black people came to populate. So as black people are coming, white people are leaving. As white people are leaving and factories are shutting down, the organization that blacks were doing ended up crumbling, essentially, and blacks turned against blacks. Now, this ain't the video for me to get into the first shooting that transpired, but once it became a shooting war, that's what it became. Now, drugs hit. When drugs hit, this revitalized the black community, at least the underground of it, right? Because money, prior to that, we've lived in only extreme poverty. We had experienced wealth. The wealth gap was so great and the opportunities to make it out are so slim, right? Like, this is nearing the end of separate but equal. So the opportunities that we have now, they didn't have then. But to be a drug dealer, that's easy peasy lemon squeezy. So now Cali people getting drugs for cheap, right? And this is all documented. It's so documented that come to find out, U.S. foreign policy was in on it through COINTELPRO and the war in Nicaragua. I'm gonna need more time to break that part down, right? But long story short, the drugs are coming in from Nicaragua to California and are being sold and shipped. Now, right? Because after you flood the streets of California, like, this accessible enough, but down south it's not as accessible. And so Freeway Rick, people like that, they really from Texas. They really from Tyler, Texas, East Texas, Louisiana. LA Run, he's from Louisiana. It's nothing to pick up the phone. Hey, Ken Folk, I got a play going on. I got a situation going on. I'm coming home. You know what I'm saying? They coming home and they selling their drugs. This is what brought gangs to Texas. The drug trade. A lot of people are going to argue with me and say it was the media. It was the movie Colors. No. It was NWA. Yes, that stuff popularized gangs, but that didn't bring gangs. It just made it popular. The drugs is what brought it. The drugs were why they were here. If you weren't from Texas and you like moved down there to go visit your family or stay with your dad or something like that, which happened a lot and frequently, the bigger play was the drugs, right? Now, you got to ask yourself, why did we as a community allow drugs to come? The community didn't like that, okay? The community decided against that. And the only answer the community had to combat that was mass incarceration, which is a problem. Mass incarceration was not the answer. Bill Clinton's failed drug laws did not solve the issues of the black community. It exacerbated them. Now, the reason why it exacerbated them is because we need jobs and we need justice. The reason that we went to California in the first place was for what? Jobs. The reason why blacks are indulging in drugs and crime is for money or jobs. These Bloods and Crips, it's jobs. Now, when you get the 12-year-olds, right? Because these Cali people are coming down here putting down young kids. Now, these people aren't even, the young kids, they not even interested in the money. They trying to make a name because at this time, because of these drug policies, fathers are now locked up. Because of housing because of housing laws, mothers are not allowed to house them when they come back. You can't stay with your family. What? It don't matter if you married, baby daddy, what the situation is. If there's a man in the house, he can't stay here. He can't stay here. So now you have the generation of fatherless kids looking for guidance and looking for affirmation, being a real man, being a tough guy, being a bravado, looking for affirmation. And that came with violence. It didn't come from money because the money was already gone. Whatever money was in the crack era, that left with Clinton. It's over with. It's money still being made, but at the level in which money was getting poured out, you couldn't even fathom it. You couldn't fathom making $500,000 a day, but there's people who can. There's high-ranking gangbangers and drug dealers mostly. Now, watch this. There was an era before the gangs came where drugs were being sold. But guess what? Bill Clinton is not where the drug trade started, right? This has been going on, or I'm gonna say the war on drugs started. This has been going on since President Nixon, right? So you got Nixon and you got Reagan before you get to Clinton. So the sons of the Nixon and Reagan era might be in the Clinton era, but the Clinton era is where you have people like Billy Ray Maddox. And I keep saying his name because if you go to Stop 6, there's reminiscences of him funding churches, of him liquor stores, of him really building the community. And they had these places ducked off for where they did their business at. It was not in the community. Stop 6 was still a great place to be until gangs came. And when gangs came, it became more about territory, in-house territory, right? And the gangs were so violent, right? The men, again, are locked up. The fathers are locked up. The gang violence is here. People just wanted their communities back. And so the church went out in masses and voted for Bill Clinton. Now people are locked up. Now the problem has not been solved. Massive poverty still exists. Fatherlessness still exists. And the kids that are growing up are even more lost than before because now it's not even about money. It's just about violence. I don't think the people from California are just proud of the situation. I don't even think they care because a lot of them got locked up, right? Like, we just, at the end of the day, everybody's just trying to get some money. And that's what happened. And so, again, if you mad at me, I understand. I'll be the scapegoat. I'll be the blame. I'll be the reason that everybody's upset. I just felt like, as far as saying somebody's banned, you could have been like, hey, Toon, pull up. I'm not non-accessible to where you couldn't say, hey, pull up, and whatever Trevo decides, like, that's what go on. Like, it don't got to be no jumping, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he brought me and I betrayed him, he can't get a one-on-one for that. If I really betrayed him. But that's not what happened. And I know that regardless of what I say, that's how it's going to be perceived. You're going to have people say that Toon is out of towner, Toon is this, Toon is that, Toon is opportunity, this Toon took advantage. Man, the problem with black people, bro, that we going to continuously run into is that we want somebody else to do for us what we have the ability to do for ourselves. Like, clean yourself up. Clean yourself up. Hit off drugs. Do better for your life. Do better for your community. Do better for your kids. Do better for your loved ones. Do something for your section. We can't expect for the white man, nor a journalist, to do for us what we have the ability to do for ourselves. We have to do for self, because if we keep waiting for somebody else, right? For somebody else to do for us, we're going to continue to get the same results or even worse. Even worse. You have people whose intentions aren't pure. You have people who just want an opportunity. And a lot of them, they want an opportunity on this here internet. And it ain't happening for them. But that doesn't mean now, okay, what we going to do, bring down the next black man? We need somebody to point the finger at. We need somebody to blame, because in addition to this, they saying y'all wrong for the gangbanging. And I'm the platform that it came out on. Man, look, I'll take responsibility for that. I ain't doing no tripping. That wasn't per se my intentions. That wasn't per se my goal. My goal was to figure out how this came here so we can start healing. Because the black community, we need healing more than we need anything else. We need healing. We need healing. The black community needs to heal. That's what we need. We need some healing. And how we gonna heal from a problem that either we don't know exists, nor do we know how it came to be? And I took that upon myself to figure that out, because I lost partners. I lost people that I messed with. Man, I'm watching 18-year-olds get 4 years. Y'all know Lil PMG God, OG Percy's son, 20 years. His partner Boosie 4, life, 99 years. He gonna die in jail. He's going to die in jail. I don't know if he has the possibility of parole, but even after 40 years, they don't let you out or what. Like, bro, your life is over. Your life is over. You're hoping for a presidential pardon or a commute. Your life is over, man. It's over. I'm saying that to say, we got to do better. We got to do better. We got to do better, bro. We gonna ban people from areas where we don't own the land. We don't own property. We don't pay taxes. And you gonna ban somebody. Get your priorities straight. I respect the reasoning for why, and I understand the feelings, the emotion, and the naysayers, the doubters, the people who saying this, the people who saying that. I understand that. But at the end of the day, we have to do better as black people. You know what I'm saying? Real money in the room, man.
Hey, RealToon, it's some real money in the room.